Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. A perfect balance in our performance as to what we achieve in the outer world and what happens in the inner world. When this is understood and practiced, then alone we are living our life scientifically. If only the external performance is taken into consideration at the cost of the inner poise, that external performance is merely a load. And if the inner peace is so important that we do not care for anything in the outer world, then it is another extreme. Therefore, we have to live in this world successfully as well as peacefully. When the successful performance in the outer world does not disturb the peace within, then alone we have learned something. Now the question is, once we are convinced of this, now the second step is, how do we do this? So we were told yesterday a 5-point formula, wherein the Lord told us at the end of the 11th chapter, 3 principles: mat karma, krut, mat paramaha, mat bhaktaha. Whenever we are dedicated to the goal of our life, mat paramaha. See how, for example, we are working in a government office or in a private factory or for our business. But who is really important for us? Government, the performance? No. Our real parama is our wife, our children, our parents. So we work in the office, but we are working not for the sake of the work in the office, but we are working so we get money and look after the children of the parents. So who is param for us? Not the place of work and not the work itself. This work is done for someone else. Therefore, when the teacher says mat paramaha, whatever we are living, are we living for selfishness or are we living for the Lord for whom we are working? So whenever the goal of our life is distinctly clear and we are dedicated to that goal, you will see life becomes very easy. Now second thing, mat karma krut. Whatever work we are doing, for whom we are working? Are we working for the sake of the work, or through that activity we are trying to attain something greater than the activity? And what is that? The teacher says, whenever we are working for someone whom we love, therefore, mat bhaktaha. When we work for somebody whom we love, the following things happen. 1, we are never tired. Second, we are never bored. Third, there is no monotony. And fourth, we are always inspired. When these 4 principles become a natural lifestyle, we will never be disgusted and leading a half-hearted life. So these are the 3 principles. Yesterday I expounded in detail. I am just summarizing. And then when we are thus working in this world to attain success, everything, but there are 2 problems that are likely to come. One is, we get involved in our activities or the people so much that we become the slaves of our own activities. Therefore, Sangavarjitaha. We function in this world most wonderfully, but reserving the freedom to withdraw from all the activities in a fraction of moment. See, what is important is like this. Recently, I was in this BITS Pilani, and here at least I am having some book in the hand to show that I also know Gita, because you are all very well-read people. So, there I don't have to show, because nobody has the Gita in the hand, so I can fire left and right. And after my lectures used to be over, one day, the director, the dean, we are having dinner together. He said, Swamiji, I want to know one thing. Yes. How do you conclude your lecture with complete summary exactly at the 60th minute? We are never able to do this. We are trying it for last 20, 25 years. What is the secret? I said, secret is the freedom to talk and the freedom to keep the mouth shut. Most important in life is not to know how much and what to talk. Most important is how to keep our mouth shut and what not to talk. Very important. So, Sangavarjitaha, total freedom from involvement as well as withdrawal, both. And Nirvairaha Sarvabhuteshu. And when we are functioning in this world, the most important principle is, let every action be the manifestation of pure love. Nirvairaha. Whenever there is any kind of hatred in our heart, that bitterness destroys our performance as well as the whole atmosphere around. So, these two things, external performance with a goal, mat karma, mat paramaha, mat bhaktaha, and the internal quality control, sangavarjitaha, sarvabhuteshu nirvairaha. When these two things are perfectly balanced, saha mam eti pandava, he attains that what he has been seeking throughout his life. What are we all seeking? Yesterday I told you, only two things, dukkha nivrutti and sukha prapti. Technically, we want success outside and peace within. Now the question is, if this is what is the goal and the technique, how do we do this? Now with this, the 12th chapter is inaugurated. You know, the 12th chapter is called as the path of devotion, Bhakti Yoga. And in this path of devotion, what happens is, there are a lot of things which go into under the title of devotion. So here the teacher will be clearing all the possible doubts that we have. Because unless you have love in your heart, you cannot lead a peaceful life. This is the conclusion of life. You know, one principle I will tell you. How do we know that we have successfully lived our life? How do we know? There is only one measurement, one technique, and that is to love and to be loved is the fulfillment of human existence. All other things are secondary in life. And this ultimate achievement in life, to love and to be loved, how do we attain that? Now to make this point clear, I will give an example. This I told you earlier in different contexts. Examples are same, the contexts are different. This is just an example. Don't take it seriously. You as a husband come home in the evening and your wife receives you with a smile and great love. And that's what I'm telling you. This is just an example. Don't take it seriously. I know it never happens. Now when this happens, how happy you will be? For a change, We are very happy, is it not? Now extend this example. Wherever you go, to the known or the unknown people, you are received with complete love. What will be that experience? One. Second thing. To love our wife, our children, anybody can do. To love that person who is useful to us, helpful to us, anybody can do. But when we are able to reach the height of pure love, it is acceptance of the world as it is. That is the real pure love. It is something like this. If somebody comes to me and gives me a bouquet of flowers, and if I just keep it so there, how bad that person will feel. So what do? I take that bouquet and start praising, although it is only the stolen flowers, although it is picked up from the recycle bin. Oh, how nice, how beautiful, and it is so nice. Why? Because the one who brought me, I respect him. So when I respect him, every gift given to me by him is most wonderful. Is it not? Now, if we love purely, the pure love is acceptance of everything as it is without demanding any change and improvement. If this can happen in our life, you will see we have attained fulfillment. There is no demand, no expectation, no frustration, no regrets, no arrogance. This is what is the ultimate we are all seeking. Now, if this is so, how do we do this? For this, Arjuna inaugurates the 12th chapter with a question. Arjuna vacha, evam satata yukta ye bhaktasvam paryupasate, ye chapyaksharam avyaktam, desham ke yoga vittamaha. Now, if you remember the 11th chapter topic, in 11th chapter, the truth was indicated in two ways. One, from the absolute standpoint, and second, from the relative standpoint. Now, what is the meaning of absolute and relative? See, absolute means that in which there is no relativity valid. For example, space. Space is absolute. And the directions are relative. So, north, east, west, south, they are in relation to each other. But when we are talking of the four directions, the space does not get influenced or corrupted by the relativity. It is not that the space on the east is holier and the space on the west is unholy. No. So, absolute is that which supports the relativity, but it is not getting influenced or corrupted by the relativity. That is absolute. So, in the 11th chapter, we were told about the reality, the truth in two ways. From the absolute standpoint and from the relative standpoint. Now, second thing. When we are talking about the relative standpoint, there are three kinds of expressions we are studied in the 11th chapters. The first expression was, which is very common for everybody to understand, is the Lord with the name and form. Toward the end, here in the 51st verse, Arjuna says, Društvedam manusham rupam tava saumyam janardana idanim asmi samruttaha sacheta prakritim gataha. O Lord, having seen your human form with the two arms, now I have composed myself, and now that terrifying experience of merging in the infinite has quietened. So one experience about the reality was as a human being. The second experience of the expression of the reality was when he says, that, oh Lord, kindly reverse back to the fourfold form, four hands, because I am unable to see this total infinite form. And therefore, Bhagavan Sri Krishna reduces himself to the Teneva Rupena Chaturbhujena Sahasra Baho Bhava Vishwamurte. Oh Lord, please reduce yourself from this Vishwaroop to the four-armed one, the second one. And the first one that was shown was the Vishwarupa Darshan, the ability to perceive reality in an objective manner without losing the subjectivity. Again I repeat, the ability to discover divinity in an objective experience without compromising the subjectivity in that experience. Are you playing only with the words? We are only moving our head and feeling so cozy to go to sleep. Now this is not difficult, so only because the words make a difference. Very simple. Now see, for example, when I look at my useless child, and when the child is small, doesn't know even how to talk properly, and when the child is talking something or doing something, I am seeing that child objectively, is it not? He is an object of my knowledge. But when the child does something, how happy and proud we become. Be very attentive. Does the same experience come when it is someone other's child? No. What is the reason? The reason is, in my child, although the experience is objective, but the subjectivity is not compromised. See? In the same manner, this Vishwarupa Darshan, the ability to see ourselves reflected in the total objective world is not so simple. That is why when Bhagavan Sri Krishna started right in the beginning to show Arjuna this Vishwarupa, because Bhagavan was more eager to show than Arjuna wanted to see. So he has started telling, Yahi kastam jagat krishnam paschadya sacharacharam mama dehe gudakesha yaccha anyat drashtum ichchasi. So Bhagavan started, here it begins. And then Bhagavan realized, hey, this fellow with these muscular eyes will never be able to read and see the divinity in this total objective world. So what he says, Natu mam shakyase drashtum anenaiva svachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogamaishwaram. Arjun, with your vision which is supporting duality, with your vision which is establishing duality, with your vision which is getting lost in the objectivity, with that vision you will never be able to see yourself present in the totality. For that you require a divine vision, and that divine vision I grant you. Divyam dadami te chakshu. And when the divine vision was granted to Arjun, then he was able to experience and see the divine presence in an objective manner. Friends, whenever we think about divinity, we always have a biased understanding about the reality. When something is healthy, God's grace. When it is a disease, even disease is possible by the God's grace alone. See? You know, we are able to be unhealthy only because we are alive. A dead person is never unhealthy. Isn't it? Have you ever seen the incidence of cancer in the Catholic graveyard? No. To have the disease also you require the grace of the Lord. And once we have this vision, as much birth is the divine experience so much, the death is also the divine experience. As much the gain is the divine experience, the loss is also the divine experience. Therefore, when Arjuna was seeing in the initial stages, oh, everything so good, the Lord with all the divine things, he was so happy. And slowly, as the reality reel started going forward, and when the Lord is showing his terrific form of total destruction, in his mouth, the whole world was entering, and those terrible teeth were biting away each individual. Somebody's head is coming out, somebody's leg is coming out from the gaps between the teeth. And that time the Lord is taking out his huge tongue and sweeping them inside, as we do when something goes here and there. And when the Arjuna saw that, he was terrified. Is this the reality? And then he says, oh Lord, who are you? I can't stand this. I am terrified. So these are the three forms experienced by Arjuna in the 11th chapter. One, the human form. The second, Chaturvacha form with the four hands. Bhagavan Sri Krishna used to be normally with the four hands throughout his life, except one or two times. Once was here. And even on the Arjuna's Ratha, here in the picture, they show that he is only with the two hands. But if you study Bhagavad and Mahabharata, there it is very clearly shown. Bhagavan Krishna used to be always with the four arms. He had that freedom. That is why, one of that Poundra from the Varanasi, he has started fixing to artificial hands and started selling. Then I am the real Vasudevan, he is a fake one. Had he not been putting it regularly, he would never have done this thing. So, these three forms were seen by Arjuna. Now, Arjuna's question is this. When he asked, Evam satata yuktaye bhakta swam paryupasate. Arjun, hey Bhagavan Krishna, the devotees, when they do your upasana, they worship you in this manner. That means in one of the three forms. One of the three forms together can be coined with one term, the reality with attributes. So, those devotees who are worshipping you, who are invoking you with the attributes, and the second one, yecha api aksharam avyaktam. And there is a second category of people who always talk about the attribute-less reality. Now, is it not, this is the area where the whole world is divided into two. If you take Arya Samajis, if you take Islam, if you take Christianity, they are ready to accept the truth, the reality as attributeless, without any name and form. So this is one kind of people in this world who want to invoke the divine strength and experience, who are the followers of avyaktam aksharam upasate. And the second type of people are the one whom you have told in the 11th chapter, the three types of expression, which is with attributes. Now those who understand Sanskrit and Hindi, for them, the whole thing can be classified in the following manner. First, the truth is nirguna nirakar. Nirguna, attributeless. Nirakar, without any specific form. Second thing, the truth is saguna nirakar, with attributes but without form. And the third is, the truth is saguna sakar, with attributes and with form. So these three of them were the topic that was discussed in the 11th chapter. Now, Arjuna's question is this. These are the two ways of invoking the divine energy, the spirit in us. So, between the two, Tesham, Ke Yoga Vittamaha, who are the right knowers of the truth. Be very, very clear about this question. Who are the Yoga Vittamaha? See, Yoga Vittama is a superlative degree. Like we have got good, gooder, goodest, superlative degree. In the same manner, Yoga Vittara and Yoga Vittama. Who is the best knower of yoga? Between the two, those who are following the path of invocation of the divine spirit and energy with the attribute and the other one without the attribute. Between the two, who is the best? And in reply to this, Bhagavad Sri Krishna replies. Now here, there are 2-3 things before we go to the Lord's words. Evam, in this manner. In this manner means, as you have explained in the 11th chapter. Ye bhaktaha, those devotees, tvam paryupasate. Paryupasate means they are able to be united with you in thought and spirit under every situation. Paritaha upasate. This word upasana is a technical term. Upasana means what? Upa means near. Asana means sitting. So those who are approaching you closer and closer by the invocation of the divinity with the name and the form as you have explained in the 11th chapter. And the second one, Aksharam Avyaktam. Akshara means that which is subjected to destruction. Akshara is that which is never destroyed. For example, if you take the Akshara like, Ra and Ma or any alphabet, Varna. So when you take any Akshara, by this about same example, Ra and Ma, you write Ravana. And with the same Ra, you write Rama. So when you write Rama, the Ra doesn't become holy, and when you write Ravana, that Ra doesn't become unholy. It remains untouched. So Akshara is that one which is never corrupted by any changes that are happening in and around. Aksharam. And second, Avyaktam, unmanifest. So those who are the invokers of the truth as Aksharam and Avyaktam, Tesham ke yoga vittamaha, between the two of them, who is the right knower of the truth? Now in reply to this, the Lord, the teacher, tells. Many times people come and ask such type of questions. One day, one mother came and asked me about her daughter. Swamiji, I am not able to decide which is better, whether engineering is better or medicine is better. Because I want to get my daughter admitted in the college. Which is better? I said, where is the daughter? Is it a hypothetical case? No, it is a real one. It's good. Because many times, people ask this type of question. Suppose somebody is born on Nirjala Ekadashi at this and this time, and if the gender is feminine, what will be happening to that person? First, let it born. There is no hypothesis taken in this area. He said, no, it's my daughter really. I said, look here, you call her and talk to her. And I called her and I asked her. I said, hey, can you tell me 13 5 ja? 13 5 ja? So what are you doing? Is there any switch or here or? No, I'm searching for the calculator. Then I told her, send her for medicine. But Swamiji, which is better? I said, Amma, there is nothing like better or not better. You find out for what you are capable. See, when we talk about physics, higher physics, elementary physics, physics is never higher than elementary. It is the student who is higher or elementary. So here also, when Arjuna is asking this question, who is the better knower of the yoga? He who is following the invocation of the reality with the attributes and with form, or without attribution, without form. Who is better? Now this question has a basic mistake. But the beauty of the teacher is, he finds out the right understanding out of the wrong question and brings the student to the right path. This I have seen from our Swami Akhandanji Maharaj. I always remember him in so many places. This happened in Calcutta. There was a crowd, and the most disorganized crowd as you can think of. And Swamiji was sitting, he was that time, towards the end of his life, maybe last 3-4 years. So, he was not able to see because of the cataract properly. His cancer has become very bad, so he could not have control over his bowels. Anywhere he will drop the fecal material, that kind of condition. So, we used to bring him slowly and like Ganeshji, install him on the seat. And then he used to tell, kindly keep the lungi, etc. properly. People will laugh at me otherwise. But he doesn't know what is happening. Now, when the crowd is doing, somebody will come, put chandan, somebody will put mala, the mic is not working properly, and all the people, non-stop various sounds of every animal was brought out. And in that crowd, one person will stand up and read a question paper. Not a question. It was more than a question, used to be always a big thesis. And when that used to happen, I used to feel so bad. Now in this such a chaos, how will Swamiji understand? Because I am more intelligent than him. Every fool thinks that way. So, after that person has read the whole paper, then Swamiji used to restate the same question in a different manner. And in that restatement of the question, the answer is to be given. See, that is the greatness of a teacher. Brushing the student, you stupid, don't understand this thing. That is not the way of a spiritual teacher. Because the student's blabbering is the indication of his sincerity. See, in the second chapter, when Arjuna is confused, he says, Na etad vidmang kataranno gariyo yadvajema yadivano jeyu. Oh Lord, I am so confused. So when a confused person is asking a question, he cannot ask a clear question. See how true it is. And therefore, although Arjuna has asked a question to compare, friends, please remember, on the spiritual path, there is no comparison. It is the path by the one, to the one alone. It's not that whether this path is better or that path is better. Find out for what you are qualified. That is important. Like, many people, whenever I got health problem, all the pathies attack me and make me pathetic. You know the pathies? One is allopathy, second is this your homeopathy, third is naturopathy. If you happen to be victim of a naturopathy, he will tie down you with a rope and take you for grazing. Take the wheat grass, you'll be all right. If you are the victim of a homeopathy, sabudana ki khichdi. Then if you are a victim of this ayurveda, you know what ayurvedic technique? I'll tell you. They give you such terrible bitter medicine to avoid to take it next time. You say, now I'm feeling alright. If you say you are not alright, take another dose. No, I'm perfectly alright. Isn't it? And our allopathy friends, they just change the disease, Like, they apply that tiger balm when you have got headache. Sure shot. Why? Because the skin starts burning so much that your attention from the headache goes to the burning and your headache is cured. This is how it is. Therefore, all these pathies make you pathetic. And the most wonderful part, if I am a naturopath, I am a victim of my own thinking. And for anything, I will say, take mud bath. But I am perfectly, no, if you take mud bath, what will happen? Next time you will not complain and come to me. Who wants that dirty thing all around, sitting like, buffalo inside? And they say, how are you feeling? I have transcended all the feelings. There is no feeling at all. This is all empty. Friends, please remember, there is no comparison. Whether Saguna Sakar is superior, whether Nirgun Nirakar is superior, whether the path of yoga is superior, whether the path of knowledge is superior, whether the path of devotion. No. Find out what for you are capable. And this is how Bhagavan Krishna brings out a meaning in the ill-framed question of Arjuna. So what the Lord says, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Mayya Mano ye maam nitya yukta upasate shraddhaya parayopetaha te me yukta tamamata. He says, hey Arjun, according to my understanding, they are the one who have understood the things perfectly well. Who are those? Ye mai manaha aveshya nitya yukta upasate. Those who are able to fix their mind on the goal of their life without any problem. One of the biggest problem for all of us is this. How many people come and ask the same question? Swamiji, I don't know who is my Ishta Devata. Second question. I don't know what is my mantra. Because, when I went, I don't know who asked me once. One lady, she was a teacher in a school. And after I have finished my 1 or 2 lectures, then she came and she said, Swamiji, I want to ask you something personal. I said, I had nothing personal in my life and I will not tell. No, not like your personal, but personal doubt. I said, okay. Now her problem was, see, when I was small, in our village, one Mahatma came, a Siddha Purusha. And his name you many may be knowing. His name was Devraha Baba. He lived for more than a few hundred years. And he was a Avadhut with all the chata, no clothes, and he used to stay on a platform constructed by bamboos on the riverbed. There used to stay. So when he went to that village, the whole village went for taking Ashirvad and Diksha. So huge queue standing. And these ladies told me, Swamiji, that time I was a small girl, maybe class 7, class 8. And we were all excited. Now, see, we are going to get Diksha. No, Maharajas come. What do you understand that age? So in the queue, the whole ship flocked, so she was also standing. And in that, she said, Swamiji, when he told something, I didn't understand because my attention was on his jata and his dadhi. And when his mouth came near my ear, I felt tickling and I ran away. I don't know what he told. Now my problem is, see the problems. Now my problem is that now I am, for example, listening from you. I feel that I should have Guru, but doubt is now whether I should keep him as my guru or I should adopt you as my guru? See? Now, whatever educated we may be, as long as these kinds of doubts are disturbing us, our mind will never be fixed to any single point. Isn't it? Therefore, when the teacher says, those who are able to fix their mind by whatever way, very important. Mai avesha. See, avesha is what? When that visha dhatu is the one from what this word is made. Avesha means merging. Like the river merges in the ocean. You must have seen Ganga Sagar or any place where the river merges in the ocean. What are the things that is happening over there? First of all, when the river merges in the ocean, there is no noise. Isn't it? It merges so smoothly. So when our mind is able to merge in the absolute reality without any noise, mai avesha, ye manaha yathoktam paryupasate. Those who are able to achieve this. So what is the ability in the seeker? Anybody who has this ability, whether he is following the path A, B, C, D, doesn't matter. The glory is not what is the vehicle you have taken. The glory is, have you reached the destination or not? That is important. Somebody may take a very wonderful, excellent car and reach always late. What is the use of that? Therefore, the goal is, ye mai manaha avesha nitya yukta upasate. Now the second thing. Our mind gets absorbed in the goal so temporarily that we are not able to maintain our interest in any field for the required length of time. And this is the problem we all have. Cultivated, nurtured, and we got established in that. For example, how it happens. Whenever we do anything, and if we do everything with wholeheartedly, we develop a faculty. And by that faculty, whether you are eating food, you are in it. Whether you are sleeping, you are able to snore away. When you are listening, you are listening each and every single word without missing anything. Why? This one faculty, the ability to get involved in whatever you are doing, 100% presence. When this ability is not there, when we are taking food, our attention is kasauti. Isn't it? I recently developed this, vocabulary. I never knew. I went to somebody's house for food in Lonavala. So that Amma who was giving me food, I said, Amma, you also take food. No, Swamiji, this is my kasauti type. I didn't understand what is the kasauti type. I said, Amma, I am not taking your examination. I am not a Durvasa taking your kasauti. No, Swami, you don't understand. I said, yes, I am ignorant. Please explain me. And because I had never known. Then she said, Swamiji, wait. Kasauti will reveal to you. I said, all right, I was waiting. And when that particular time came, and now Swamiji looked into the TV, and that useless kasauti, all tensions, as if we have less tensions in our life. Therefore, we see the 10 serials, so that the tension is maintained. Look here. So, when we are taking food, our attention is on the cereals. When we are talking to our children, our attention is somewhere on the milk, on the gas. And in this manner, we have developed a faculty when we never apply ourselves totally to any given job. Here Bhagavan says, he who is able to fix his mind on any given job to the required length of time with total freedom, he alone is capable. Doesn't matter what path he is following. How important it is. But those who are obsessed with naturopathy, one person told me, Swami, do you know, in my whole life, I have not taken any medicine. I said, I have got a stone outside my house. That stone also has not taken any medicine in my whole life. So, taking medicine or not taking medicine is not important. What is important is, are you able to fix your mind on the goal that you have chosen or not? If you are not able to do that, all your efforts are in vain. And that is why all of us fail in life. Our one action cancels the other one. And therefore our whole life is a series of self-cancelling efforts. It is something like the morning joggers. They run, but reach nowhere. Therefore, there was one man, he was told by the doctor, see, you have to do some exercise and reduce your weight. Yes, doctor, what should I do? Every day, you run or walk, maybe for about 8 kilometers. For how many days? Maybe for 1 month. Okay. After 1 month, you report me. So after 1 month, he phoned. Doctor, yes, as you told me, I have been walking every day 8 kilometers. How are you feeling? Now I have a problem. I am away from my home 240 kilometers. Because, every day he was walking 8 kilometers. Now to come back. So this kind of understanding that we have about living in this world is not the scientific approach in life. So, important thing is, Mai avesha ye manaha nitya yukta upasate. Second word, nitya yukta. See, spirituality or spiritual life or the scientific approach to life is not a hysteria or a spiritual influenza. We get sometimes so charged. From tomorrow morning, I will get up in the morning at 4 o'clock. And morning 4 o'clock, we get up and then start thinking. Now I am 70. Up to this date, I never woke up. There is no problem in my life. Why do I start listening to that Swami? He has nothing to do. And then, why waste time? We go to sleep. And again afterwards, at about usual time, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, we get up. And when we get up, then there is a guilt. Today also I could not get up. Isn't it? So, Nitya Yukta. This is not a temporary phase. Please remember, spiritual life is not a part-time profession. It is a full-time preoccupation. It is not only when I am before the Lord, then I am bhakta. Afterwards, vibhakta? No. The devotee is a devotee all the 24 hours. The husband is a husband all the 24 hours. See? That's why they are all the time miserable. Have you seen any husband happy? Because 24-hour duty. So when we take our spiritual life nitya yukta, now all these things put together, what it means? Those who are able to fix their mind for a required length of time, for the chosen purpose, at a free will, they are really worth talking about. Now, the most important thing. We have that ability, but we don't have the wisdom. Ability without the wisdom leads to calamity. Give a child a live gun or a pistol. Now he has the ability to shoot anybody. He doesn't require any muscles in your biceps to pull the trigger. But he doesn't have the wisdom. When to use, how to use. As a result, it is detrimental for his survival as well as all others around. The same thing is happening with our terrorist people. They are all capable. Have you seen any of the terrorists who is shot dead with a thick glasses? No. Have you seen any terrorist with a back pain? Excuse me, jara laga dena bomb. No. They are all physically most sound people, but wisdom-wise going the wrong track. Therefore, here the most important thing is we have to cultivate the ability, but not forgetting the wisdom. Therefore, what is the goal of our life we have fixed? Fixing the goal of our life falls in the purview of wisdom. And developing the ability so that we can reach the goal falls in the purview of your spiritual practice. When these two things are clearly understood, doesn't matter what path you follow. See, I remember there was one Mahatma Ji. He was arguing with one Vedantist, a young man, very intelligent and very sincere. He was putting some points. And the person who was explaining was not able to explain. He was caught up in his own logic. And then out of frustration, he told that young man, you are talking like the Vijnanavadis of the Buddhas. So that young man said, sir, excuse me, I don't care what you label me. I want the truth. If the truth is Islam, I want that. If the truth is Christian, I want that. If the truth is Buddha, I want that. If the truth is a stone, I want it. I am biased only for the truth and not for anything else. That dedication is required. Then alone the truth is gained. Yamai vesha vrunute tena lapya tasesha atma vivrunute tanum swam. Upanishad says, those who are dedicated single-pointedly to the truth and the truth alone, to them only the truth is revealed. Therefore, let us not get lost into the evaluation and comparison. Evaluation and comparison will be okay if you are academic and writing a thesis so that you can get a job. But if you are the seeker of truth, none of these things are required. So, Mai Avesha Mano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate and Shraddhaya Parayopetaha. Very important third point. We will be able to be dedicated to the cause that we have chosen only if we have the wealth of faith and devotion. Devotion with faith and faith with devotion together is called as shraddha. See, the word shraddha is formulated etymologically. Shrad dhatte yaya iti shraddha. That by which the truth is comprehended is called as shraddha. In the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad says, Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatparaha sanyate indriya. Buddhiman is not said. An intelligent person need not attain the reality. But the one who has got the wealth of shraddha. Now what is shraddha? See, shraddha is many people condemn. It's a blind faith. Friends, faith is always blind. And the blindness of the faith is the beauty of the faith. See? If somebody says, oh, my mother is old, I don't like it. See, if my mother was like Madhuri Dixit, Budhau, what is your age? Oh, I am 85 not out. If you are 85 not out, your mother cannot be younger than you in India. Okay. We can talk only under Indian conditions. So, this you have to accept. Therefore, shraddha is what? All of us have the shraddha. But we have not recognized that. For example, we accept some lady as our mother. On what basis? Only on pure shraddha. No, we have the DNA matching. The DNA matching is at the time of a problem. Isn't it? When we are living with our mother, there is no authority and the strength which keeps our relation going. First. So we accept our mother blindly through the strength of faith. Second, that mother tells us this person is your father. That also we accept blindly through faith. Now third step, the strength with which we can trade the dark forest of ignorance is called as the shraddha. In the area of ignorance, shraddha alone keeps us going. Very important. When I know, I don't require faith. Isn't it? It is something like this. I go by a flight or a train or a car. Now, I don't know whether that aeroplane is going to land on the earth in a proper manner or it is going to land in a mess. How do I know? I don't know anything. But how do I begin? I begin that the aeroplane is going to land in a proper manner. This is what? This is nothing but pure faith. If this is clear, that God, that supreme reality, the absolute truth, we have not known at this stage. Then what do we do? Then, tad vijnanartham gurumevami gachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. So we have to approach a person. And when we approach a guru, a teacher, another important thing, we accept the guru or the teacher only under the umbrella of faith. What do we understand what a guru is? An ignorant person cannot evaluate the wise teacher. Very important. You know, when Narendra Vivekananda was now and then called by Bhagwan Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, one day he just jokingly told, "Sir, you are getting attached to me. Are you falling in a trap or what?" That time the great master told, "Narendra, look here. You have accepted me only out of doubt, suspicion plus faith. Sometimes you have doubt in your mind, sometimes you have suspicion, or sometimes you have faith. And it is the faith which is keeping you going with me. But I have accepted you, not out of faith. I know who you are." See the difference. And therefore, when the faith is not strong, we ourselves are the losers. When they say, the faith can move mountains, this is incomplete phrase. The faith can move mountains if the faith is stronger than the mountain. Our faith is like the rolling skate on our feet, and with that we want to push the mountain. When our foundation is unsteady, we cannot progress in life. Therefore, to fix our mind on the goal that we have chosen, the ability to have ourselves is gained by this positive attitude of our heart called as the faith. Therefore, never condemn this thing. Well, blind faith we don't believe. Every moment we are living only on the strength of faith. When we go to the barber, these days people have stopped going. But when they go to the barber, they sleep there on that chair. And then he is doing the whitewashing, patak, pat, patak, pat. And then he has got the most sharp instrument. And you hand over your jugular vein. What is that which keeps your neck with that sharp razor in that chair? That he is not going to slit open. Who knows? Isn't it? There was a barber and he has parked 3-4 customers in each chair. You know what they do? They will whitewash everybody so the customer cannot go out with that, froth on his face. And then they start little everybody. So when this was done, his son came, barber's son. And daddy, shall I try? So the daddy said, yes, try, but be careful, that, razor is very sharp. So he is worried that his son may cut his own hand, but when he is shaving, he is not worried because it is a customer. The one who dies because of custom is called as customer. So when we are exposing ourselves to the sharp instrument of the barber, what is keeping us there? Only the faith. Therefore, friends, 2 principles. First, all of us have faith. There is none in this world who doesn't have faith. Those who are logicians, I don't believe unless I am convinced. So you have faith in your own logic, is it not? Without faith we cannot exist. Now the question is, where do we apply this faith? Now we have to apply this faith, as I told you on the first day. There is higher possibility for the human beings to explore than merely living as animals in this world. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithunancha, 4 things. Eating, procreation, and security, and sleeping. If this is all that we can think of in our life, the Lord will correct his mistake in the next life. He will take us out of the human form and put it in the pig's form. Go and eat and procreate, nothing else. So if the human form that we have got more potentiality to explore and achieve. And if we do not utilize this opportunity, we are the losers. So with this faith, shraddhaya parayopetaha, te ye yuktama tamamataha. So Arjun, according to me, you are asking, those who are following the path of absolute reality, without attributes, without form, or those who are following the path with the reality, with the attribute and with the form, between the two, who is the better knower of the truth? In reply, the teacher told this. This is what should happen. If this happens, doesn't matter. Whether you are following the path of the Saguna Sakar, Saguna Nirakar, or the Nirgun Nirakar, it is one and the same. After having told this, then, because in the 11th chapter, Bhagavan spoke of the reality with the attributes. Now, first he is comparing with the people who are following the path of the attributeless reality as the goal of their life. Meaning, they always talk from the absolute standpoint. Friends, please remember, if we talk only from the absolute standpoint, we are talking nonsense. Why? If we are established in the absolute, we will keep our mouth shut. See? Somebody making a statement, I don't have a tongue in my mouth. A person who makes this statement has a tongue in his mouth. And he who does not have the tongue in his mouth, he will never talk. In the same manner, he who is all the time talking from the absolute reality point of view, the whole world is an illusion. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Only at the time of delivery of the lectures. But when the relative world starts bugging from all sides, then whatever I have said in the lecture was an illusion, as much for you, so much for me. Therefore, friends, it is very, very essential. Those who are established in the absolute reality, there are two expressions only. One is absolute silence. Second is living like a sport, like Bhagavad Krishna is to live. The whole world is a big drama. And in a drama, you play your part to the best of your ability. We don't say if we are acting on the stage and if I have to do some role. Remember I told you one story? There was a director guiding a drama. And in that drama, the rehearsal was going on the stage. So the actors and on the stage and director in the audience. And he was watching. Go ahead. And the scene was a terrorist comes in a house. And when he comes, he takes his gun and pumps bullets into the heart of the other person. And what the other person was doing? He was having his lungi on and reading a newspaper comfortably morning time. So when he pumps the bullets, what should happen? He should collapse there, is it not? So what this person who receives the bullets, what he does? He folds the newspaper properly. He does his lungi properly and slowly lies down to die. So what the director says? There is no life in your death. Is it not true? When we are playing the role on the stage, we play it so real that there is no doubt in the mind of the listener. He is able to see that whatever is seen is true. These are the two expressions for those who are established in the absolute. So here Bhagavan says, to talk about absolute and getting lost in the relative world with frustration, non-recognition, demands, projects, and having a lot of things to do in this world, it is self-deception. And this point the teacher brings out. He says, Ye tu aksharam anirdesham avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gam achintyam cha kutastham achalam dhruvam sanyemendriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayaha te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hiterataha. In these two verses, the teacher gives a whole picture about those who are following the path of attributeless reality, the absolute. What he says, ye, those people, aksharam, anirdesham, avyaktam, sarvatragam, achintyam, kutastham, achalam and dhruvam. There are 8 pointers which are pointing to the attributeless reality. Those who are following this, paryupasate. Now see, for example, if you have an idol in front of you, Bhagwan Krishna, and if you have to do upasana, it is very easy. Why? Because we are with the form. So if I am with the form, I can know how to handle the object with the form. Very easy. But now I am with the form and I am trying to recognize the reality. And what is that reality? Aksharam. That which is never undergoing any change or corruption or destruction. So, ye aksharam paryupasate. So how they do the aksharam? Am brahmasmi, soham, 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 soham. Om Nishya, Om Nishya, Om Nishya, Om Nishya. Or Om, Om, Om. So here the teacher says, ye aksharam paryupasate. Anirdesham. That which cannot be indicated. Friends, when these words, each one of them, reveal the experience of the self, then alone we are going by the path of attribute-less reality. It is not so simple. First of all, whenever we utter any word, immediately objectivity is created in our knowledge. You remember once I gave an example. There was one Lions Club program in Bombay only. It's a great domestic experience to go among the lions. And their names may be lion A, B, C, but they are like human beings only. Madhya Pradesh is coming out and all the big sizes. Lion is never of that type, but they are all lions. And the most wonderful part is, lions never live in crowds. Lion lives alone. Sher akela rehta hai. But these are the crowded lions. So, and then on the stage, I know there may be many lions here. Don't bounce on me right now. Let me finish my talk. So, when on that stage, that one lady was going left and right, here and there, and I was so amused to look at her. And she was moving, I was observing because I was doing nothing. So, when you do nothing, you can observe. So, I was observing and found that she is doing nothing. I said, Amma, please come. She came. I said, Amma, what is your name? She said, my name is Bhavna. I said, what is the meaning of Bhavna? Bhavna means Bhavna, I don't know. I said, Bhavna means जिसको कुछ भाव नहीं है. No, Swamiji, don't say like that. I said, why don't you understand simple thing when I say, what is the meaning of Bhavna? Bhavna means I. See? When you call your son Pashupatinath, you can name your son anything, isn't it? When you call your son Pashupatinath, that time you don't say, I have called my son Pashupatinath because from the toe to the waist he is a Pashu. And from the waist up to the neck he is a Pati. And above he is a Nath. No. So the meaning of the word Pashupatinath for that boy is only I. In the same manner, when every word said over here, Aksharam, Anirdesham, Avyaktam, Sarvatragam, Achintyam, when every word will lead us to that attributeless reality without an effort, then we are qualified for contemplation on the attributeless reality. And those who are thus able to do that will take this every word in detail tomorrow. Then what is their lifestyle? Their lifestyle has got three aspects. One is Sanniyamendriya Gramam. Those who have got perfect control on all of their senses and sense organs and organs of action. Sarvatra Samabuddhayaha. They have discovered equanimity in all the things and beings. And third, Sarvabhuta Hiterataha. Their every moment of their life is lived for serving the society. Such people, they ultimately come to me, the Lord says, who is with name and with form. See? So you do the upasana of the Nirgun Nirakar and ultimately you continue to live as a Sagun Sakar. See, those great masters who have attained Jivan Mukti while living, they have attained the attributeless reality, but they are expressing through the reality with the attributes, and that is the beauty of spiritual life. The remaining portion we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.